It's Katie here with Life in Mundane, and welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited to be live here, guys, with you this morning. Be sure to say hi in the comments so I know you guys can see this. Today's video is going to be a little different than normal. Normally, I come to you with quick, punchy tips and tricks on how to homeschool and share about homeschool resources. But today, we are celebrating the fact that the Life in Mundane YouTube channel hit 10,000 subscribers. That just blows my mind. And so I wanted to take a second, not to celebrate any accomplishment of my own, because the truth is, it has nothing to do with me. This channel and the fact that it has gotten to where it is all because of God. So I literally wanted to have a story time today to share with you guys, like, what God did. Like, how did God even bring us to this point? I have no idea what he has for the future of this channel and this ministry, but I am just so excited to see what's next. And I just thought I'd take a little bit of time to reflect on what he's done in the past. So I hope you guys are up for it. I know, like I said, it's a little different than what we normally do, but I don't know. I just want to take that opportunity, but be sure to stick around till the end, because I also am going to tell you guys about how I'm going to be celebrating with you guys, because you are also a big part of this story and how God has brought all of you guys here. And I want to shower you guys with some love and with some gifts. So we're going to talk about that here in just a second at the end of the video. All right. So how did YouTube even get started? I never set out to start a YouTube channel, ever. I was never like, I should be on YouTube. Actually, for a long time, I was very afraid of being on video. I have done previous businesses in the past, and I would shy away. Like, I would do anything to not be on video because I think, as most people, we don't like watching ourselves or hearing ourselves. You got that funny video voice that you have and things like that. But so that was never part of the plan. But what was always part of, like, who I am, who God created me to be, is I am someone who loves to gather information. Like, I love researching things. I love finding new things. I get excited about things, and I like sharing what I'm excited about. That has always been who I am. And it's funny because as I was thinking back through this and like how God has prepared me in different ways for what he has me doing now, it was just really interesting to see. When we were kids, I grew up in a big family. There were 7 kids. We were all homeschooled, and we loved to play this game called Kidsville. And this was our village, our kids' village. We had a mayor, we had a post office, we had a library, we had all these things. We had a whole town. Everybody had their job. Most people had multiple jobs, and because it takes a lot of work running a town. And one of the businesses that I ran in that town was called the Information Station. And because I loved researching. So literally I had a little file box, and I would go and I would research all sorts of information, and I would keep it in my file box. And then if anybody ever needed anything, they would come to me and I could share that information with them. And that like got me so excited. And so anyways, I guess I've always continued to be like that. Like, I just have always enjoyed sharing the information that I find. So all that to say, I've always been kind of a go-to person for information. So as fast forward many years, married, then had 6 kids. I guess at this time I had 5. But a lot of people knew that I grew up homeschooled. They knew I was homeschooling my kids, and they had questions. So anytime somebody new on my friends list on Facebook would start homeschooling, or anytime that somebody would know somebody else that was going to start homeschooling, they would tag me on Facebook and be like, oh, you should talk to Katie. Or maybe Katie could help me. Or they'd message me and say, Katie, could you meet with me and answer some of my questions? And I was always more than happy to do that. Like, that seriously brought me so much joy. So much joy. And I could not wait to be able to do that with people. So I would start out by like messaging them on Facebook. I'm like, what kind of questions do you have? And they'd be like, could you meet for coffee? Like, could we get together? Could we chit chat? It's like, absolutely. Let's chit chat. Well, it's so crazy because I enjoyed doing this. But obviously, every time I met with somebody, every time I sat down and I had coffee with them, or every time I sat down and like talked to them, it took a period of time. And with that, it was quite the challenge because that would take me away from my family. But I still enjoyed doing it. I still love doing it. But I got to the point where I had more people who wanted to meet and talk face to face than I had time for. So I had to ultimately resort to like a lot more text messages and Facebook messages, just because I needed to make sure I prioritized still being at home as well. Fast forward a little bit further, I'm talking to a lot of different people online, helping them start their homeschooling journey. So happy to do that. But I start realizing that people are asking a lot of the same questions. They're asking, how do I start homeschooling? What are the laws to homeschool? How do I pick curriculum? Those kinds of things. And I'm answering the same questions over and over again, but I'm not doing it as consistently. Some people I do an in-depth conversation. Some people it's just, a few answers here or there. And I was like, man, it'd be nice if I could answer this question like really well. And I could just duplicate that. Like I could give that same answer to every single person so that everybody had all the information that they needed. And sometimes things need more explanation. So I was like, well, maybe if I record a video of me answering these questions, I could send it to them. And then if they have any more questions, I could answer that in person or on message, because I knew a lot of the beginner questions were the same. So it was quite the interesting experience, I guess, to some extent. And so it was just really kind of fun to see how God created that. I still had no plan at all of going on YouTube. That just wasn't an idea. So my thought was, I'm going to make a Facebook page. So I went out, and in 2017, June of 2017, I started the Life of the Mundane Facebook page. And I was like, I'm just going to share a few tips and tricks on there. And then I will make a video live or pre-recorded just to share information with people. So that went really well. And it was really successful. It seemed to help people. That was always been my goal and my desire in everything that I do, is just to help. But one of the things I didn't like about Facebook is it wasn't searchable. So I would make a video, but then after a while, the feed would get bogged down. It would drop down to the bottom. People couldn't find the videos I had made. So it required me to message them and say, hey, here's that information. Here's that information. Oh, finally, the comments are just popping up. Sorry, guys. Literally, we're not showing until now. And so I just didn't know what to do. I was like, I need something better. And someone's like, have you ever considered starting a YouTube channel? I was like, no. But I could put my videos on YouTube and then just link them on my Facebook page. Anyways, long story short, I obviously started a YouTube channel, but it took until August of 2018. For an entire year, I tried to kind of work out the Facebook thing. And then finally I realized that, you know what, maybe I am supposed to be doing this on YouTube. And God really brought me there. It was quite the journey, seriously. And I think that in all of this, God prepares you for these things. I have done past business things, like I said in the past, that prepared me for how to even do videos or how to teach. I've taught Bible studies. I've helped teach Sunday school. I've helped do those things. And I'm a homeschool mom, so as those things, he prepares us to be able to teach. And all of a sudden, I could reach more people than ever. I could share the consistent, similar information, and I could do it for tons and tons of people without having to, neglect my duties at home. And that was just amazing. That was just my ultimate dream, was just to be able to help. And so I don't know, it was crazy. If any of you guys have a YouTube channel or you've thought about having a YouTube channel, it is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And I'm just here to tell you that. I ended up making my first video. Those first videos are a little rough. The lighting is horrible. The audio is the videos are incredibly, incredibly long. And what's funny about that is I had to share this because it's part of the journey, right? Part of the journey is in August 2019, I made a video that would change my content forever. And I'm not being super dramatic here. I'm dead serious. It completely changed my channel. I made a video, and maybe some of you guys remember it. It was called the Top 5 Podcasts for Kids. It's not one of my more popular podcasts. I have 2 other podcast videos that are really popular, but it was called the 5 Top YouTube video, or 5 Top Podcasts for Kids. This video was about 14 minutes long, and I thought it was really good. I thought it was really helpful, and it was engaging and interesting, and so I put it out there on the internet. And somebody commented, I don't know if they're here or not, but somebody commented and said, wow, it took her until minute 7 to even get to talking about any podcasts. Because what I had done is I was like, oh, well, before I share what podcasts we like to listen to, I should explain how we listen to podcasts and where do we listen to podcasts and why are podcasts important. And I basically had taken 3 videos and combined it into one. And this person made this comment. They were like, wow, it took you 7 minutes to get to the point. And at first I was offended and I was hurt. I was like, I'm trying to be helpful. I'm sorry, and whatever. But then I started thinking about it and I was like, you know what? You're right. Homeschool moms need quick and to the point. We don't have a lot of time. time is not on our side. We have a lot of things that we're doing, and homeschool moms need to just like get in, get the information, get out. And I realized at that point, God brought me to that point for sure, that I needed to make shorter form content, shorter videos for moms that just packed a punch. And if I needed to cover multiple aspects, like how do you listen to podcasts and why do we listen to podcasts and where do we listen to podcasts, I could do those in separate videos. And so that's literally changed in 2019, changed all of my videos. You'll see a big shift. I mean, it took a little bit of time. It wasn't like immediate after that, but it did take a little bit of time. But it was really funny how God used this comment that at first really hurt my feelings to actually make a positive change. And at least from the comments that I've gotten, in more recent time.
Could you say that again?
Sorry, my watch is thinks I'm talking to her. But as I've gotten your guys' comments, it seems like you guys appreciate that aspect. So you can thank that person in the comments. You can go find that video and thank them for changing everything. Well, in December of 2019, I hit 1,000 subs, but I was still figuring out what kind of content I should make, because YouTube is a big thing. There's a lot of different types of things you can talk about, even within homeschooling. Are you going to be a vlog channel and share your homeschool days? Are you going to share tips and tricks? Are you going to share resources? Are you going to, I don't know, there's just a lot of different options out there. And I was kind of experimenting with everything. I did funny, like not really related to homeschooling at all videos. I did home management videos. I did homeschooling. I did some parenting. I did everything. And I just kind of played around with it. Honestly, if you are starting a YouTube channel, I definitely recommend that you do experiment a little bit until you figure out what works for you. And, but what I realized is going back to that whole information station, going back to that whole childhood game, I realized what I really loved to do is I loved to find amazing resources and shine a light on those. Like I wanted to bring my favorite things to you guys and share that with you guys. And I realized that those were a lot of the videos that you guys seemed to like. And so it was just, I don't know, it was just really neat to see how God had been preparing me for that. And so, yeah, he brought us through it all, and it was phenomenal. And so it took a little while, but definitely into 2020, I kind of refined that and really enjoyed talking about homeschool resources, sharing about physical resources like curriculum and different manipulatives and things that you can use, but also sharing with you guys about tips and tricks that would be resources in and of themselves. And that's really, really what I love doing here on this channel. But then things took a turn. The YouTube channel was doing well. But in 2021, I was invited to do my first in-person homeschool speaking events. I don't know, I had thought about it, I think a couple of times about maybe one day I could do that. I definitely thought it would be way in the future when my kids were way older. But God really, again, he worked in all of these mysterious ways. In 2020, when everything shut down, a lot of physical homeschool conventions couldn't meet. So a lot of people switched over to digital homeschool conventions. And in that process, a lot of people were looking at digital, like homeschool influencers. I don't really like that word, but like homeschool influencers, and saying, hey, would you be willing to talk? So I got invited to do a few online conventions, and that was really fun. And I really enjoyed it. And I realized that I would love to speak in person. So in 2021, I got to speak at my first thing. I spoke at a women's retreat, and then I spoke at the Kansas Homeschool Convention. I got to speak at convention last year as well. I've done a few other little things here or there with in-person speaking, and absolutely, absolutely love it. One day I would love to travel all over and speak at different homeschool conventions. That probably will be until my kids are older, because, I do want to prioritize being home with them. But one day, who knows? We'll see where God takes it. But yeah, so in July of 2021, we also added this total curveball, and we started a second channel called Adventures of Life in the Mundane. And after this video, I will link it down in the description if you guys want to check it out, if you haven't checked it out yet. It is totally different than this channel. It's the same values. It's the same core values of making the most of those little moments, of really being present with your kids, doing those fun things, making little moments into big moments. And it is more of a vlog channel. So it's longer form content, not necessarily homeschool related, but more into our life. And God's really done some fun things. It's really more of a fun project than like a business, so to speak, but it's just something we enjoy doing. And then in January of 2022, we started the Life of Mundane podcast. And that story of how that started, I'm going to save because we are actually going to be releasing a Q&A for that podcast. It's with me and my husband, and we're going to be releasing a Q&A here in the next week or so. So be sure to check that out. And it's a little teaser. And we actually explain in there the story of how we started the podcast, how we even came around to that idea. And with that, we are going to be starting season 2, hopefully, Lord willing, the week after Labor Day. So this Q&A episode will hopefully tide you over till the new season, but we are really excited. We're full on recording. We've got lots of fun plans for this year, but I really enjoyed the aspect of starting a podcast because I wanted to be able to talk. And I mean, not even it really was not on a radar, and you'll hear that in the story, but I felt like God wanted my husband and I to be able to do something together. And I felt like the opportunity to speak specifically to marriage and parenting from a biblical perspective would be amazing. So what's interesting about Life in the Mundane across the board is that it's totally different types of content. But again, that same heart, that same idea of making the most of those moments, that same idea of having a biblical focus on it. So it's just neat to see how what God has done with that. So that brings us to August. August is my 4-year anniversary on YouTube. June was my 5-year anniversary of just doing Life in the Mundane in general, because like I said, I started that YouTube channel beforehand. And we're 10,000 subscribers. 10,000 people. That is only God. Only God. That's all I can say. He is so good. So good. And I have no idea what's next. I know we're going to be, Lord willing, we're going to be doing the second season of the podcast. I'm going to continue making videos for you here. We're going to continue over at Adventures in Life, the Mundane. We have started making 2 videos a month instead of 1 video a month. And we're sharing a little bit more. We're still sharing our family adventures, but we're also sharing a little bit more of our other aspects of our life. So I know those things are going to continue. I do have a few things in the works that I hope to be bringing to you guys soon. But I just want to say, anytime you see this channel do well at all, I want you to think God is good, because that's the truth. God is good. It is all God, 110%. So I do want to answer you guys' questions. I see you guys in the comments. Thank you so much for all of the congratulations. And I'm glad some of you guys like listening to the podcast and you love those punchy videos. Like I said, you can go back and thank that person. But before we get into Q&A, I want to tell you guys how I want to celebrate 10,000 subs with you guys, because you guys are a huge part of it. Without each and every one of you, this would not be possible. It would not be possible for me to be here. And so, and because the whole goal and the whole mission is to help. If it doesn't help, it's not worth the time that it takes, because it does take a decent amount of time. So thank you guys so much. So I want to do a series of giveaways. I'm going to be posting the giveaways in a couple of different places, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on the community tab here on YouTube. So you're not just limited to one area, which is nice. But I am going to be posting a series of giveaways all month long. We are going to have so many giveaways. It's going to be awesome. I have 5 giveaways that I'm going to tell you about today, but I'm hoping to have actually a few more that are sprinkled in that are a little bit more of a surprise. So I want to show you guys what I have to give away for you guys. So I contacted New Growth Press. You guys know I love working with New Growth Press, and they have donated 3 of my favorite kids picture books that I'm going to be giving away. We've got Chloe in the Closet of Secrets. This is a book all about lying and the dangers of lying. Jack's Tail Twitches, and this is all about when you're angry, what you can do. And this is God Made Me in His Image. I love this series, the God Made Me series. And so I get to give away, one winner is going to win all 3 of those books. I also, speaking of Rachel from 7 and All and Where'd You Learn That? She is on today. Hey, Rachel. She has generously donated a $40 gift card to the Where'd You Learn That shop. We absolutely love their resources. I think, all of them. We love their purely preschool resources. They also have resources for older kids. This was a printer error on my printing part. This is not actually what the cover looks like, but it's United States collection, and it's a song study of different songs. They have a Christmas unit study that's amazing. So many fun things. I have got an entire set of Grammar Galaxy, your choice of level that Melanie over at Grammar Galaxy is going to donate to one of you guys as a winner. I've got Wendy from Plan Prep Pray, who's also on here right now. And she has donated a pack for you guys of her Peaceful Planner that you can get, as well as her Busy Bee Student Planner, as well as her Peacefully Present course. So one winner is going to win all 3 of those amazing items. And then finally, for now, but I'm still working on a few more things because I want this to be big. This is big. Like, God has done some big stuff, and I want to celebrate in a big way. I'm also going to be partnering up with Paulogia, and the winner for that will be getting their choice of science textbook and one student book, their choice of science book as well, one choice of science textbook or their choice of math textbook. So you'll get to pick one of those totally for free. Oh, Rachel says they've got more products releasing soon. So this is a great time to get a gift card. So stay tuned to those 3 platforms. It'll be the same information across the board. So as long as you're following either in the community tab on Instagram or on Facebook, you'll be able to see the details of how to enter each of those giveaways. And it's going to be amazing. Oh, you did Earth Science last year. I'm so glad you loved it. We are doing Earth Science this year. We're starting in September, and I'm really excited about it. So if there's any questions you guys have, please drop them down in the comments. I would love to answer them if we have time for just a little bit. But you guys are just amazing. Like, I just can't say that enough, seriously. And I just really appreciate all of you guys' support and love throughout this process. Be sure to make sure you turn on notifications on your platform of choice so you don't miss out on those giveaways. You can enter all of the giveaways and hopefully you guys will enjoy those amazing prizes that these amazing companies have worked with. Oh, before I stop, I did want to mention about companies that I work with because this is like a little more insider behind the scenes info. So I work with a lot of different companies, but I want you guys to know that I also don't work with a lot of companies. I probably get, I don't know, several dozen emails in a week of different companies that they're like, hey, can you try out this product? Can you share this on your YouTube channel? Can you whatever? And I take it really, really, really seriously. Like, I feel like you guys are really important to me. And I don't ever want to bring something to you that is not quality or is something that I would not personally purchase. There are some things that are great quality, but the price point is so astronomical. Like, I could never actually use it myself. And so I don't bring it to you guys. I always try to try out the products for quite a while, like not just like 3 days. And I show it to you guys after I have used it. If I just got it in the mail, I will tell you, hey, I just got this in the mail. Let's see. Oh, question. Do you use any of the same materials in homeschool that your parents use with you? Yes. Apologia is something I've used since I was a kid and I absolutely love. We also use some of the same like Bible resources that I used growing up, and actually Sunlight this year that we are using, the Sunlight DE is one that I actually went through as a kid and really, really enjoyed. So yeah, we do use some of the resources. A lot are different, but some that we did use as a kid that I really enjoyed. But I just want you guys to know that you guys can always rest assured that I am never going to put products in front of you that I have not tried, that I can't stand behind myself. And I just want you guys to have that reassurance. So anyways, well, if there's no other comments, we'll wrap this up because, this video is already a lot longer than my shorter videos, but I really appreciate you guys joining and I hope you guys have a blessed Saturday and we will talk to you guys later. Bye.